is the most important thing. That if we have this part of the room who's suffering from an illness, or the people in the room are suffering from illness, and I give somebody a sugar pill and I give you the drugs, the results are the same. Now why is that? What's the difference? What is it? Correct. So the point I'm making is exactly it. If you believe that by doing something or taking a pill that it's going to make you better, if you believe it, it makes you better. It's the exact same science. Likewise, if you believe your condition can't be cured, what happens? You won't. If you believe it can't change, you won't be. What I can't understand is we're seeing that scientific research, because every multinational drug company has to do the trials. Okay? And we're seeing, and it has to be done in such a way that they have to rule out your mind. So what they're clearly accepting is that your mind plays a major role, that your belief. You know, I wrote about this and had roused about it in the media with certain oncologists about if you tell people to keep checking parts of their body on a daily basis for disease, well, what do you think might happen? That's what science tells us. So I say, fine, check your body every day, whatever part you want, but with a mindset that it's healthy. Do you understand the difference? But if you're checking with a mindset, where is it? It should be there. You know, you're sending signals, your mindset. So what happens is, basically, your mind is like sitting out here. It's like somebody sitting out here. It's like your extra person. And it's sending a signal to the brain. And the brain has a chemical producing factory called the hypothalamus. And that hypothalamus is secreting neurohormones into the body, to the parts of your body. So when you tell your body, well, I have a pain here, and you keep telling it you have a pain here, and you keep telling it you have a problem, well, if you're telling it you have a problem on a daily basis, well, what do you expect? Until sometime the problem says to you, would you ever do something about it? You know, and the way we approach it, and that is why you have to be so cautious about what you think about yourself. Because your perception becomes your biology. As what Bruce Lipton, who's a professor of medicine, you know, who's a cell biologist, was able to see quite clearly. YouTube these clips, these lectures. Professor Bruce Lipton talks about this, shows it, demonstrates it. That if you think about your body on a daily basis developing illness, and this whole idea about genetics and all of this kind of stuff, listen folks, your genes right now are listening to what you're telling them. Your genes do not control or determine your future. Your genes, you are telling them how to express themselves. By what you think about you, by the attitude, by your perception, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. We don't realize the damage we're doing on a daily basis by just thinking about the fact that we're not going to get better. Just by thinking about the fact, well, I've been diagnosed with MS now, so, you know, 20 years down the road, I'm going to end up in a wheelchair, and I'm going to be like this, and like this, and like this. And sure enough, we end up like that. Now, I say, fine. Pull back, change. Change your mindset, change your perception. Change the way you see yourself. Begin to understand how you influence your body. If you can influence your body in ways that I'm talking to you about changing your mindset, changing your perception, you know, making the decision right now, tonight, when I go home, before I sleep, when I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to see myself better. Tomorrow morning when I wake up, I am just not even going to think about things. I'm going to throw the quilt back, I'm going to get out on the floor, I'm going to stand up and say, this is a new day, new beginning, I'm going to change my life. Or you can just sit down and say, poor me, can't lift my hand.